Today, we're diving into a really profound response to our environmental crisis. And it's not about new policies or some fancy new tech. Nope. It's about a complete shift in how we see reality itself. And it's an idea drawn from the incredible depths of Buddhist cosmology. Let's get into it.
So let's start with a really big question, one that feels both super urgent and, honestly, kind of baffling. We depend on this planet for literally everything: our food, our air, our water. So why does it feel like we're in a constant battle with it? How on earth did we get here?
The source we're looking at today makes a bold claim. It says the root of the problem isn't just our actions. It's not just the pollution or the deforestation. It's our perception. The problem is how we see the world. It calls this a kind of radical ignorance, a deep, fundamental misunderstanding of our actual place in the universe. So here's our roadmap for unpacking this whole thing. First, we're going to diagnose the problem, what we're calling a crisis of separation. Then, we'll explore the Buddhist idea of interdependence. From there, and this is where it gets really wild, we'll see how that leads to the concept of a self-aware universe. Then, we'll uncover our own unique role in all of this, and finally, bring it all home with a powerful new way to think about ethics, an ethic of radical care. All right, first up, this crisis of separation. The argument here is that all our environmental troubles, climate change, species extinction, you name it, they're all just symptoms of a much deeper issue. And that issue is a broken worldview that tells us we are fundamentally separate from the world around us. I mean, think about it. When we see ourselves as separate from nature, the planet becomes, well, it becomes a warehouse. It's a collection of commodities, right? Its value gets boiled down to pure economics. How much wood, how much oil, how much money we can extract. This view completely ignores the fact that we're actually part of a vast, interconnected community of life. So if that's the broken worldview, how do we fix it? Well, Buddhism offers this amazing counter-narrative, and it starts with a foundational principle that just completely pulls the rug out from under the whole illusion of separation. And that principle is called dependent co-origination. Now, it's a mouthful, I know, but the idea is actually super intuitive. It's a deeply ecological view of reality that says nothing, and I mean nothing, not a tree, not a cloud, and not even you exist on its own. Everything comes into being and exists only because of everything else. It's all one huge, dynamic, collaborative dance. This ancient verse from the Pali Canon just captures it perfectly. It's a vision of a totally fluid, interconnected reality. My existence depends on yours. The cloud's existence depends on the sun. It's not just some nice philosophical idea. It's a description of how the universe actually works, moment to moment. And what's so fascinating is how Buddhism applies this idea to our own sense of self. It says, okay, let's look under the hood of what you call a person. And what it finds are these 5 interconnected processes, or skandhas. You've got your physical body, your feelings, your perceptions, your mental habits, and your awareness. But there's no solid, separate, permanent me in there anywhere. What we call a self is just a temporary team-up of these flowing processes. And once you see that about yourself, it's so much easier to see your connection to everything else. Okay, hold on. Because this is where the idea takes a massive leap. Later, Mahayana Buddhism looked at this interconnected web and asked an absolutely radical question. What if this isn't just a network of connected parts? What if the whole thing is actually a single, living, conscious reality? You can kind of think of it like this. Early Buddhism was focused on analyzing all the individual threads in the web to help individuals find freedom from suffering. But the Mahayana tradition zoomed way out. It started to see the whole tapestry not just as interdependent parts, but as one single, cohesive, living being, what it calls a wondrous being. The key to unlocking this is a concept called Tathagatagarbha. A beautiful way to translate this is embryonic consciousness. It's this mind-blowing idea that the entire universe itself contains a seed of awareness, an innate potential that is destined to grow, to awaken, and to become fully aware of itself. And where is this all headed? What happens when that embryonic consciousness fully matures? It becomes the Dharmakaya, which you can think of as the cosmic body. So in this view, the universe is on this epic journey of self-realization, transforming itself from a seed of potential into one single, fully awake cosmic being. So you have to be asking, if the universe is on this grand journey to wake up, where do we fit in? What's our role in this cosmic drama? Well, this is where it all comes together, and it's a truly stunning idea. This chart maps out a kind of ladder of insight. At the bottom, you have ordinary beings who just see a world of separate solid objects. A step up, you have the Hinayana adepts who see the interconnected web we talked about. Then there's a potential wrong turn, the misguided bodhisattvas, who might devalue the physical world. But at the very top, the peak of insight is the mature bodhisattva, who sees the universe for what it truly is, a single, living, conscious, cosmic body. And here is the punchline. That journey up the ladder of insight, that's not just something happening in us. That journey is the universe itself, moving from a state of confusion to a state of perfect clarity, through us. Our consciousness is the universe's organ of self-awareness. Put simply, we are the universe becoming conscious of itself. So what does all this cosmic, mind-bending stuff actually mean for how we live our lives? Well, it leads directly to a powerful and surprisingly simple environmental ethic. Because if the universe is a single body, and we are part of it, that changes everything. From this new perspective, you can see why two common approaches just don't work. On one hand, you've got materialism, which sees the world as a pile of stuff to be used up. On the other, you have a kind of misguided spirituality that says, oh, the physical world is an illusion, it doesn't matter. Both are dead ends because they're based on the same fundamental mistake. They fail to see that everything is secret and everything is connected. True wisdom, then, is about seeing things differently. It's like when you really look at a flower, you don't just see a flower. You see the whole community that made it possible. You see the sun, the clouds, the soil, the bees. You see the integrity of the entire universe, the whole cosmic collaboration showing up in this one beautiful, unique expression. And when you see the world like that, an ethic of deep, profound compassion just arises naturally. The first vow of the Bodhisattva isn't just some nice promise. It's the only logical response. When you realize that you are not separate from any other being, you naturally develop this fearless commitment to protect and care for all of them, just as you would care for yourself. So we end with this question, which takes this entire cosmic journey and places it right back in our hands. This isn't just philosophy to think about. It's a direct challenge. If you truly see the world not as something out there, but as the very body of your own being, then every choice you make is an act of either self-care or self-harm. The choice really is ours.